Hello and welcome. In this video, we are going to demonstrate how to deploy a Node.js application in types in ExpressJs into an AWS EC2 instance using AWS CodeDeploy. So this will be a sequel of the video where we have done the deployment manually. Here the deployment will be done using CodeDeploy. So to get started, this is the bare minimum ExpressJS app written in TypeScript that we can start with. This is a very basic application where you only have one route which will be returning the hello world. It also has the tsconfig, it also has a readme what to do with that, and the package JSON where we have only Express and the typings for it, and also TypeScript. So it also has one script, that is the TSC, to build the TypeScript. So let us just start running this application in the local host. So I'll be running npm install. Then I'll be running npm run build. So it is building, so it has the files in dist. Then I'll be running the node space dist/index.js. So it listens on a port 3000, localhost 3000. So it returns a hello world. So this is the bare minimum application that we are going to deploy into AWS EC2 instance using CodeDeploy. So first of all, I have done some homework to get started. I have explained all about all these homework. What to do when you start with an AWS EC2 instance, all this stuff in the previous video. I'll have the description of the previous video in the video description. So I'll just summarize what I've done. So first of all, I have created this security group. So in this security group, I have the HTTPS and I also have the port 3000 open, also have the 22 port open and 80. So in this case, we'll be only using the 3022, but nevertheless, this is the security group that I have created. So, and also I have already downloaded my key pair called general. So I'll be using this key pair to log into the EC2 instance. And I also have created an S3 bucket. So in this tutorial, I'll be using the bucket name as TypeScript Express Artifact 2 because looks like I already created the TypeScript Express artifact in the previous video and I deleted that, and probably somebody after watching my video created that very bucket again, so I couldn't recreate that very bucket with the same name. So here I used another bucket name. So in your case, you will be changing this, you'll be using some different bucket name. So wherever you will have to change the commands accordingly when you try to upload the file. So in this case, I've created this bucket. So there's nothing in this bucket really, it's an empty bucket. So this is what we have now. So let's go to the AWS instances and we are going to launch an instance. This instance that you see here is already terminated, so we'll be creating a new instance. So I'm going to say Express server and I'm going to use Ubuntu and I'm going to use Ubuntu 20.04 as a version, because why I'm doing this is we have to install something called AWS CodeDeploy agent, and it's not still yet supported on the version 22.04 at the time of recording this video. That's what I saw when I checked the documentation. So I'm going to stick with the 20.04 version. And about the instance type, I'm going to keep the T2 micro because it is free tier eligible, and the key pair I'm going to use the general, and security group I'll be choosing the general web that I mentioned. It should be having port 22 open and port 3000 open. That's the only requirement. Now about the storage, I'm going to leave the default values as it is, and we'll just launch the instance, right? So the instance is launched. We click on the instance link and we see this, and we click on this again and we see the IP address. We copy the IP address. We will open up a new terminal, and because it is an Ubuntu instance, we have to do the SSH space Ubuntu @IP address. Then I'll have the I for providing the PEM file, key file, and I'll have the general. So it's already downloaded and copied to my home directory. So we switch back to the AWS dashboard and refresh, because the instance state should be running before we try the login. Now it is running, so we'll switch to terminal and do the login. So it will ask whether you want to continue connecting to this server. Yes, we'll provide yes, right? Now we are in the server. Now let us first go ahead and install the Node.js. I have the script to install Node.js in this Git repo. It's in the etc userdata.sh, and the first line is this one. I'll paste this one. So it's the Node.js 16th version, 16 point something version, and grab the second command to complete the installation. Right, it's getting installed. Right, so we run the second command to install Node.js. Right, it's installed. It says it's installed after checking the node space -v command. So we get the node version output. So Node.js is installed. Now let us go ahead and we also need to add something called the IAM role to the EC2 instance that we can show. So but before that, let us upload the files, project files, to the AWS S3. So we are going to use AWS S3 as the artifact, and the code deploy will be using the files from the AWS S3 to deploy the application. So basically what we want to do is, it's the same thing that we have demonstrated in the previous video. We are going to upload the project files to the AWS S3 bucket. So we have the command to do that here in the README. In this area we have this command. So we are going to make a zip out of the project, and without the node modules and dist folder, and also the git folder, and we will copy the zip file AWS S3 CP. That means we'll copy this very file to the S3::/ means this is the bucket that we are going to upload to. If you are going to do the same thing with me, you will probably have a different, not probably, you will definitely have a different bucket name. So you will have to change that very bucket name here, and inside of that bucket we will be uploading into a folder called CodeDeploy -2 and with the name project.zip. So if we run this command in the project folder, then if we switch to the S3 bucket, then here after the upload, here the files will be here. So let's just run that. Yeah, now it's uploaded. We refresh here, we see this folder CodeDeploy2, and we see the project.zip. So we have successfully uploaded the project artifact to the S3. Now we want to do something, and the first thing we have to do is to run the Node.js application. We need a systemctl command, so systemctl service. So we have to do this. We have to create the systemctl service in the server. I have switched to the server terminal now. Clear LL, right? So let's go ahead and create the systemd service. Systemd system node api.service, and I'll paste this in. So it'll be running the project. That's the only thing that it is doing. So one thing is, it has to be, the folder name has to be 2, because this is the second tutorial. So I have the folder names changed that to 2. So I'll have this thing updated into the GitHub repository as soon as I complete this session. So you don't have to change. You wouldn't have to do this. So I save this, and we need to reload the daemon process. Sudo systemctl daemon reload, and we have to enable this sudo systemctl enable node API service, and we have to start the service systemctl start node API service. And even if we do this now, it will be showing some errors, because there is no folder there is no such folder. This code express code deploy to, there is no such folder in the server right now. So we will just check the output of this systemd service, journal ctl -fu node API dot service. Failed to start. Okay, no problem. So we just have to create this folder. Because this is the folder where the project files will be in. So we are in the root folder, home folder, and we are going to create this folder mkdir-p code/express code deploy 2. So in this folder we will actually upload the artifact contents. Now what we have to do, the next thing that we have to do is, so what we are going to do next is, now the next thing is to install the code deploy agent. So the copying of the project artifact from the AWS S3, and starting some services and stopping some services and doing some stuff, all these things will be done a thing called code deploy agent. So this is a software, this is a package that you have to install into your server, and it is possible to install it from the automatically, but in this case we are going to do it manually. So the documentation for this is inside of this link, and I have pasted that link in this very line. So it explains all this stuff, which commands you have to do to install this. So I have already copied the commands here in order to install it cleanly. So first command is sudo apt update, we'll run that, and the next command is sudo apt install ruby full, because probably this AWS, this code deploy agent is probably written in Ruby. And we'll run the sudo apt install ruby full. Yes, we want to install it, right? And the next thing is, we want to install the wget, because we are going to use the wget here. So wget we are going to install, right? I think it's already installed. Then we will do this. About this one, so we have to install the respective this very file. The link of this very file actually depends upon your region. So if you are going to create the instance in my case, I'm going to create this instance in Mumbai region. So that means you have to get this name in this format. So it will be wget https bucket name. It should be bucket name. So the bucket name will be like this. There's a table for it. The bucket name in my case, because it is AP South 1, the bucket name is AWS CodeDeploy AP South 1. So that's why this is like this: AWS CodeDeploy AP South 1. Then there is this dot, then there is this S3, then there is this region identifier. In my case, the region identifier is AP South 1. So that is why after the S3 dot, we have AP South 1. And the rest of the link is explained in this, like this. There will be this part, this portion will be same for all. So this is how you should do it. And I'm going to copy this and I'm going to run this here. Yeah, this has been downloaded. So wget means you want to download something. Yeah, this very file is what we downloaded. And the next command is chmod. We are going to run this because it's a shell script. Probably it's a shell script, so we are marking it as executable by providing the chmod command. And then because it is an Ubuntu 20 version, they have mentioned it like this. If you want to install it in a 20.04 version, you have to run this command. So we'll be running this command. Takes a while, I guess. Right. So we have installed the CodeDeploy agent, and we can check the status of CodeDeploy agent by running this command. But nevertheless, I'm going to restart the command, and we are going to provide this restart: sudo service CodeDeploy agent restart. So this is probably, I don't know if just by starting it will actually start functioning, but in my case I actually had to restart the CodeDeploy agent's service. Only then it actually got me working. So if you have a different opinion, please share your comment below in the comment section. So yeah, so that's what we have done. Now what we have to do is we can go to the AWS CodeDeploy section in the AWS dashboard, and we will create an application. So the name as Node app, and compute platform is it is possible to deploy into AWS ECS and AWS Lambda. In our case, it is the EC2. We have created this application. Now we have to create a deployment group. We have to create a deployment group. We click the create deployment group button, and we are going to say EC express instances, right? And service role, we will select the default service role, CodeDeploy service role, and here environment configuration EC2 instances. Yeah, in our case it is possible to deploy into auto scaling groups or on premises or EC2. In our case it is AWS EC2 instance, and we can provide the name. We can choose the instance by providing the tag names. In our case, the name is also a tag. So the name will be Express Server. So if you have the name of the instance as Express Server, Express Server, this will be, when you choose the name, the value will be, the name will be coming up. So you can choose the Express Server. In our case, we have created the server with Express Server name, so I choose the Express Server. Right. So if the CodeDeploy actually finds an instance, it will say that matching instance is one unique matched instance. So it actually understands that this configuration is meant for one instance. In this case, we have already installed the CodeDeploy agent, so we'll choose never. This I'll have the normal values in the deployment settings. And load balancer, we don't have a load balancer right now, so I'll just go ahead and create the deployment group. Right. So we have created the application and we have created the deployment group. Now if we just create a deployment, what will it do? So if we create a deployment, we have to choose something. In this case, the deployment, the source code should be taken from S3. It is also possible to take it from the GitHub, but in our case, because we have stored the artifacts in the S3, we are going to choose this very option. Nevertheless, we have uploaded the artifact. So this is the path to the artifact. So this is the project.zip, and the URI for this is this one, S3 URI, and we'll just copy this and we'll go to the code deploy page and we'll paste that in. So this is the location of the artifact, and it gust the revision file type, so it's a zip file, right? And description, I'm going to provide nothing here, and I'll just have the default options here, and I'll hit the deployment, right? So it is going to do something. I'll explain what it actually is going to do after we see the output. Right, it is pending, still pending. Really, probably something is missing, I don't know. How can we see the code deploy agent log? We go to this page and we will see, yeah, we will go to the code deploy and refresh. Yeah, it's still pending, so something is missing. So we'll check for AWS CodeDeploy log. Right, the output of the code deploy will be written to this file, so we can just do a tail missing credentials, right? So the instance is actually missing a credential, so it cannot pull the artifact from the S3. So we actually missed something. We have to assign an IAM role to the instance. So what we have to do is, and if I just switch to the IAM, I have this very role called EC2 role, which I did exactly the same in the previous video, and the role name is EC2 role, and in the EC2 we have given the full access to AWS S3. So code deploy agent will actually download the S3 artifact using AWS CLI, probably AWS CLI, I think, yeah, or maybe using an SDK in Ruby, but it actually needs the access. So in our case, we have to provide the EC2, we have to assign the EC2 a role. So we have to go to the actions, and we have to go to the security and modify IAM role, and we have to choose the EC2 role. Right, we have assigned the role now. Now it still says pending. It's probably going to fail after some time, so no, nothing to worry here. And let's see if we can cancel. Yeah, we can stop this deployment, and we are going to the applications once again. Click on the Node app, and we are going to click on the instances app, and we are going to create the deployment again. Here we'll have if you click on this select box or input box, it will show the autocomplete of the previous selection. So we'll click on the same, and we are going to just create the deployment. Yes, so we have created this deployment, and what else? it's in progress. Right, we'll do the tail again. We can confirm whether we have the right permissions by running the AWS S3 ls. It doesn't have the AWS CLI installed. Yeah, we can do that. We can go ahead and install the AWS CLI, install Ubuntu. Linux. We'll copy this and open up a new tab and we'll do a curl. We will run this command first and this command. And we'll do this. Right. AWS -- version. AWS S3 ls. Yeah, now it has the access. So let's see that what is our log saying now, right now. Missing credentials. It's probably, this is the time that, yeah, we refresh this. It's still pending. Yeah, anyway, what we can do now is we will have to restart the AWS CodeDeploy again, probably. First we are going to stop this. Stop, right? And we will just refresh this. Deployment, yeah, it takes a bit time to get the code deploy stopped. And we probably have to stop this. How we can stop it is, yeah, you can click on it and actions and stop deployment. Applications, node app, deployment group, right? It got stopped. This one hasn't got stopped. Stop. Yeah, now it's got stopped. Now let us do a restart. Right, now let us do the tail. Yeah, it says something. I think it is starting correctly, probably. And we can go to the code deploy agent and create a deployment again and see what happens. Create a deployment. Right, it's doing something. Yeah, it's doing something. You see so many logs in the code deploy. Yeah, application stop, download bundle, before install, after install, all of them got completed. So what we did wrong here was we forgot to add the role for the EC2 instance, and we restarted the code deploy agent service, and boom, all the steps actually got completed. And I'll explain how and why all this got completed. AWS CodeDeploy will be looking for a file called appspec.yaml file, and you can get these, sample file for this very file from the AWS documentation. So what it actually does is application stop. So it will actually do this very step, application stop, and we have this script for it. We can provide other format also here. I think in my case we have provided the script /stop server.sh. So what we have done here is we have run this very shell script, which effectively stops the systemctl service, and it also removes all the files in the project folder, right? And then it actually does the second step, that is download bundle. It actually downloads the artifact from the S3 which says it is succeeded, and before install there is a hook for before install. We haven't provided that, and there is install. and install hook also I haven't provided. So in our case we have provided everything in the start server hook. So that is probably in this application start. You know all of these actually got completed in less than 1 second. So we have this start application start in start server.sh. So what we are doing here is we are installing the npm install, running the npm install, and we are building the TypeScript project, and we have restarted the Node API service, system CDS service. So which effectively, before this stop server, it actually stops the system CDS service, it removes all the files, and then it downloads the files, and then in the start server it runs the npm install, it runs the npm run build to build the TypeScript, and then start the system CDL service with the updated files, source files. So that is what actually it is happening here, and let us go ahead and see if this is really working. We grab the IP address and we open up a new tab, :3000, hello world, right? Awesome. So we haven't done really anything other than uploading the files to the S3, and just by code deploy that we have updated the application. Now let's go ahead and change something in this. We'll go and try one, right? I have changed the file, and I'm in the local machine terminal, and I'm going to update the S3 artifact by running this very command. So it created a zip out of the files and it uploaded the artifact. Now if we go to the code deploy again, and we go to the applications, node app, deployment group, create a deployment, revision location, same thing, we create a deployment. The deployment got created, it's running the steps. It is running the steps, right? And almost all the steps got completed, and now we switch to the server IP address :3000. Try one, yay! Isn't that awesome? So we are getting good at this. We do the creation of artifacts once again. This ideally should be a step in the CI process, because this is what we actually call continuous integration. We will be updating the artifact in the CI pipeline normally, and in the next video we can demonstrate this using GitHub Actions. So we update the artifact, we go to the code deploy, applications, application, deployment group, create a deployment, a revision location, create a deployment, we refresh again, we see the events, 4 of them completed, we refresh again, 5 of them completed, last 2 remaining, all of them completed. We go to the application, refresh. We are definitely getting good at this. Isn't that awesome? So I think I provided a valuable tutorial today by providing the maybe not the in-depth analysis of code deploy, but surely it's a working example of code deploy. So in the next video we are going to demonstrate this entire CI/CD pipeline with using GitHub Actions. I've already completed the CI pipeline using GitHub Actions. So what I'm going to do is we will create a code deployment using GitHub Actions. So if you like my video, please consider subscribing to this channel, because I'm going to provide more valuable content in the coming days. So if you like the video, please also consider liking it and sharing it across who will be looking forward to this kind of videos. So thank you very much.